What is up, Techers Squad? How's it going? It's been a lot that's happened since we last talked, and today Bayern Munich beat Real Madrid in the Champions League. It was a big dub. I was watching it. I felt like I was just got secondhand stress by watching it. It was intense. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna be on. Let me grab my drinks right now. I realized I didn't have anything to drink. I'm so good, so good. It was a intense one. Let me put this a little down here. Yeah, great match. Our number 9 showed up, or it was Harry Kane showed up good, bagged a goal. It started off with a few different things happening where Bayern Munich had a tough start where Manuel Neuer, I love Neuer, a legendary keeper for Bayern Munich. This guy, the tough loss where he just cut the ball back, and it was just a horror pass he did there where just didn't hit it right, and then it falls right into the feet of pretty in good form Arda Güler at this point. Before, he had not scored a single Champions League goal, and then Manuel Neuer, the way he plays, he likes to push up the field and just be uh, a little bit more outside the box player, play more with his feet. And that one, it just totally, sometimes it happens where, Neuer's outside the box by far, and then he just gets chipped. And in this case, it was one of those. He was a little too far away from the goal and just gave a bad pass. Arda Güler takes it. It was just like left there for him, just as it was asking to be made, asking to be taken. Just a big, easy goal for them. Arda Güler puts it in, and then within not even a minute had passed. I just put on the game, like pumped up as a Bayern Munich fan. Mia San Mia, and then I just see, you know, Bayern Munich gets scored on immediately. Not even a minute passes. Arda Güler puts one on us. I was like, all right, this is could either go like be a crazy game, one that's memorable for Bayern Munich, or maybe just one that is gonna be a rough day in the office. You know what? From there, we the team stood in it. They didn't give up. They just kept going, and what we after that, the next goal we saw was Joshua Kimmich. He was there. Bayern had won a corner kick. He's at the corner flag, puts it in. A perfect, and honestly, Kimmich is underrated for some of the passes, some of the assists he's got going, and set pieces he can deliver at times. Truly one of the best midfielders in all of Europe, no question about it. Kimmich is one of the best midfielders in all of Europe right now. He has been for a few years. He's making it clear he still is. He goes ahead and cuts in, or sends that corner kick in, and it falls right to the head of Pavlovic. Pavlovic puts it away. Bayern is tied on the game 1-1, and now they are still ahead in aggregate. So they were down in aggregate, now they're back up in aggregate. They only came into the game at 2-1, so it was going back and forth. Any team could win it at this point. Tied in aggregate. From there, we had a goal scored by. Let me pull it up. Let me pull up the. Actually, let me see if I can just move this. The actual match running, because I know there was goal. You can see the score line 4-3. Bayern Munich wins aggregate 6-4. Real Madrid is sent packing. I've seen multiple Champions Leagues where Real Madrid crushes Bayern Munich. There's I think it was last Champions League season where I was even questioning, I don't know, it seemed like the refs were on Real Madrid's side. I mean, in today's game, it was not that. I mean, both defenses kind of put it to the win, were trying their best, but Manuel Neuer wasn't in good form, and goals were just flying in from both teams. 4-3 of scoreline. I mean, if you had to catch a Champions League game today, I mean, the Arsenal or the Porto game or the Bayern Munich Real Madrid game, if you want to catch that Bayern Munich Real Madrid game, because it was an absolute instant classic. I think it was even better than the first match that they had in this tie. The first one, just 1-2. Good match. You're playing out, lots of drama, good football. But this one is the one you need to watch. It was good. Uh, Let me pull up the. Yeah, so we have the Pavlovich goal. And then after that, Arda Güler puts away another goal to send Real Madrid into the lead for aggregate. He puts it from a penalty or a free kick, I should say. From a free kick, Arda Güler is there teeing up, and you're like, he already had his magic of the game. Arda Güler is not going to be able to pull it off again. No, Arda Güler is proving himself as becoming one of the best players. I think he could be one of the top European players in all Europe, and he is truly a great signing for Real Madrid. I've seen him score goals, and he's developing nicely. He's one that I don't think Real Madrid should be so easy to send him off. They got to hold him for a bit. That is a player that you can develop around him, and I think maybe he fits into that Luka Modric role, kind of, where Luka Modric, they no longer have him. They gave him away over to AC Milan. That's something for Güler to fill into. He put that free kick right in the top corner. I mean, everyone says that was a bad save by Manuel Neuer. No, that one was good. It was just a really good free kick by Arda Güler. You have to be honest on that one. Arda Güler just put it top bins. By the time Neuer gets to that, he's pushing the ball, and it just flies into the goal. It was already in there. All he did was push it when it was in the goal up. He got to it, but, I mean, he was too late. That's a goal that nothing you can do. So now it's Real Madrid having the lead in the aggregate score, then stepping up into the spot in order to score a goal would be Harry Kane, the number 9, Bayern Munich's number 9. You know, I thought Lewandowski's leaving. What are we going to be doing? We signed Harry Kane. He has an amazing first season, and he's showing up in big Champions League games. One of my biggest gripes with Lewandowski is he's amazing, but sometimes he can just be quiet in that big match. That big match where you need him, he just goes quiet. Where did Lewandowski go? You know, you kind of saw that recently with Barcelona. I mean, Lewandowski, he kind of just disappears. He's not the Lewandowski he usually is. In regular league play, Lewandowski against other sides can go off, get you multiple goals. But sometimes against the hard teams in Champions League, it's different. It's a challenge for Lewandowski. And so in this situation, Harry Kane was made. No Bayern fan wished that we had Lewandowski. Harry Kane all the way. Bayern Munich's number 9 puts us back into it and puts Bayern Munich back ahead in the aggregate score. The aggregate score, I mean, if you were looking at just the game, it looked like Bayern Munich was having a tough game the whole time. Just the match. Just the match. We were trailing, and it was a tough one. But if you're keeping an eye on the aggregate score, oh, it was so juicy. Well, Bayern would fall back. Real Madrid would come back. Bayern would try to come back. It was back and forth, back and forth. Just in the first half, the amount of goals that were scored was just crazy. The first half was insane. I was already losing it straight from the first minute when I saw Neuer send that pass, and then he and then it just goes straight into Arda Güler's feet. The whole time I was on the edge of my seat just watching. Could not take my eyes off it. Intense play by both teams. I realize I don't even have the chat up. Let me pull it up. I'm going to keep breaking down the rest of the goals right now. Do not worry. I'm going to break down the rest of the goals. All right. So here we are. So Harry Kane puts in that goal, and the next goal that we have going in is from we have a goal from Mbappe. So Mbappe responds, and that was a crazy storyline of the game. Mbappe, he just had hit his head in a game in La Liga where he ended up going down. His face was bloodied, and he had to get stitches for that. So he had a badge on his, just like a Band-Aid kind of badge, like bandage on his forehead because he had just gotten stitches recently, and then he puts away a goal to put Real Madrid ahead in the aggregate score. So now it's looking very nervy. If Bayern Munich can pull this off, they're going to have to get another goal in order to stay up with the Real Madrid. All right, at that point, let me see, it was 3. Pavlovic got a goal, Harry Kane got a goal, and then Real Madrid had their 3 goals after Mbappe's. So Real Madrid was in the lead at this point. It was 2-3, and it goes straight into halftime after that. Mbappe showing up, after with stitches. That alone is crazy for the Mbappe arc. Everyone says, Mbappe is just, kind of, I don't, just a striker. Sometimes he doesn't, or just a winger that doesn't put away goals at times, and he can be a little bit like he needs service to get goals. He needs it. I mean, when he's on the wing, he's good. Mbappe creates his own goals, but when he's a striker, sometimes it feels like Mbappe needs service in that striker role, which has been a struggle for Real Madrid in these past few games, where I've looked at Real Madrid and they have been struggling offensively, where, someone like Valverde, he shouldn't be the one that's really carrying the flag and scoring for them, where it's kind of seemed like that recently. I mean, Arda Güler took it on this game. I don't think anyone expected Arda Güler to take on that role, but he did. And it was awesome to see. You're seeing a young player develop. Everyone wonders who's going to be the next generation of players. You're looking at Ronaldo slowing down, looking at Messi slowing down, and they're reaching their older ages. You can't expect them to be the pinnacle of football. And we're looking at players like Lamine Yamal coming up and doing that. And I think Arda Güler could be Real Madrid's person as well. Bellingham hasn't really been going off like he was for the first season he came in. Bellingham just hit the ground running, and still Mbappe is performing. He put away a goal with stitches. You can't say that Mbappe is not a baller, and he is with it, with the team, bleeds for Real Madrid. If he literally has stitches in his head, he probably had somewhat of a concussion. I've suffered a concussion before, but to do that and show up in such a big match in the Champions League for your team, putting aside that he has stitches in his forehead, puts a bandage over it, I mean, that is dedication. So I don't think anyone right now, Madrid fans, you cannot question Mbappe and his dedication to the team. Scoring a goal in the Champions League against a Bayern Munich team that's been in great form under Vincent Kompany, you cannot question Mbappe. That stitches, showing up for the team, literally bleeding for Real Madrid, and then coming back in to make sure he's there on game day for Champions League. That is dedication. Mbappe is dedicated. He might be the best player in Europe. He might be, I know many already see him as the best player in Real Madrid. I think that injuries have just slowed him down. Just injuries. And to know I'm already being slowed down by injuries. If I just have a head injury, I'm going to show up. That's the mentality he has. Amazing to see. Mbappe is just, I keep learning more about the tenacity and the willingness this man has to grind, and it's amazing. I know he's going to be crucial for France this World Cup. Mbappe is going to be there. He was crucial for them the last World Cup and nearly pulled it off for France again. If it were not for Messi in Argentina just showing up and putting another effort, Mbappe would have had another World Cup to his name. Can't knock. I mean, Real Madrid, as much as they, like, when he first signed, wanted to talk about how, Mbappe was not performing at first. You can't say that now. You cannot say that now. Getting a head injury and then still coming in, amazing. So going into the half, it's 3-2. And Bayern Munich is down. It is tied in aggregate. So I was nervous, but I didn't have a nasty feeling like, oh my gosh, this is the end of the line for Bayern Munich. I was in it. Mia San Mia. I still believed in the boys in red. I was not gonna lose hope. Stay faithful till the last whistle. Any loyal fan knows that you do not lose faith until the last whistle. And even if your team's getting blown out, you stayed there till the last whistle. So I was dedicated. I was watching, making sure. I think Bayern still got this. They could get another goal. This Real Madrid side, I'm not convinced that they could hold us out. The way our offense has been performing under Vincent Kompany, I think we could score a goal against any European team without a doubt. On any day, anything could happen in football. I'm not denying that. But this team is looking nice. I think it's the best Bayern Munich I have seen since 2020, where we had Hansi Flick and we won the Champions League. It really is. I mean, this is the pinnacle. I think this is the year. If Bayern Munich wants to get another Champions League to our name, this is the year you do it. This is the year you push for it. Have players coming in from backup, like Musiala coming in. Let's speak about the next goal, where Musiala ends up coming in at the 89th minute. He does like a back heel pass over to Luis Diaz, and then outside the box, Luis Diaz sinks in a beautiful goal, and which makes me question. I think Lucho is one of the best European signings. I'm pretty sure. Let me look him up here. I think Lucho has been, just this year that Lucho has been on the team, he's been a signing from Liverpool, from Bayern, comes into the team. Man, he has hit the ground running and provided goals for Bayern Munich. Mia San Mia, the organization, knows what type of player they need in their system, who it is exactly. That's one of the most impressive things for me, where they don't always spend a lot in the transfer market. Go for the biggest name. They're not going for someone that is at the top of their game like Mbappe. Real Madrid chasing Mbappe. It's not that big of a signing. They're not cutting out that much of a check for a player. They go for players that, Harry Kane in the Premier League was looking like he was maybe slowing down. Some people were losing faith in him. You know what? We'll take him in. We know Harry Kane's still good. In our system, he works well. He's going to fill into that striker position that we have, that Lewandowski hole that was left. Harry Kane has done that. Then they think to themselves, well, we need a strong winger here. We need someone to, that could be someone for the team to remember, the way that we had Ribéry, the way we had Robben back in the past. We need a good winger. When we win, we have good wingers. So they get Luis Diaz, Lucho. They get him for a signing. I mean, they didn't break the bank signing him. Liverpool was willing to let him go, which I think was a big loss for Liverpool if you're looking at the way they performed in the Champions League and then you're looking at their Premier League season. They needed someone like Luis Diaz, but their loss, Bayern Munich's gain. So Bayern Munich has him. Lucho puts away a goal. Absolutely amazing. He's been crushing it on the season. Harry Kane's been crushing it on the season. And, we've had other people showing up for Bayern Munich. You have young players. Pavlovic showing up. You have Leonard Carl showing up. Leonard Carl has been also amazing. And we didn't even see Leonard Carl in this game, or if he was subbed on, I didn't even notice. There was no big play that Leonard Carl even made a huge impact in the game. Musiala comes in as a tactical sub and makes an impact, and then another tactical sub we have coming on is Alphonso Davies. Those are two. Musiala, Alphonso Davies, going to be big players for their national teams. For Germany, Musiala is going to be a big player for them in the World Cup coming up this summer. And then Alphonso Davies, I've been saying it. If Canada wants a good run, wants to do good in the World Cup, they need Alphonso Davies and they need him in good form. So going into summer, Alphonso Davies, he's ramping up, and hopefully he performs well for Canada. I'm not going to hate on any national team. I just hope that their players perform, because I want to see good football this summer. And at the end of the day, I just want to see good football. And then you're talking about young players performing, you got to talk about the one that secured the spot, secured the position, Michael Olise. He then, a dirty finish, it looked like he was going to pass. And I was like, you should probably pass. No, he starts dancing just at the edge of the box and then puts away a goal, just sinking it off the left upright and in. Absolutely filthy, filthy of a goal. Olise was filthy. He's going to be, if France doesn't give him good minutes, I don't know what they're doing. I think he's one of the most talented strikers that France has. Without a doubt, it's going to be Mbappe. Olise has got to be on the field. If you're not giving him any minutes, that is insane to me. You got to be giving Olise minutes in the World Cup coming up. And then he seals it, puts it 4-3, aggregate 6-4 for Bayern Munich. And Bayern Munich is now going forward into the Champions League. So now I believe they're taking on Man City next. Let me go ahead and pull up. See if I can pull up a Champions League bracket real quick. Let me go ahead and check the chat as well. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Go ahead and drop a like if you like the video. Techers Breakdown, always trying to tell the untold stories within football. And you know, sometimes teams don't like telling. All right, so we have coming up, it's going to be, let's see, we have, sorry, I'm just getting it going here. I'm going to pull up. All right. So next game, we're gonna have Tuesday, April 28th, 12 p.m. Put it in the calendar. I know I got to. I don't even have that in my calendar. I got to put it down. Bayern Munich versus PSG. This is no easy game. This is gonna be a rematch of when I was at the game where PSG took on Bayern Munich in the Club World Cup, and I saw Musiala get that nasty leg injury. So this is there's gonna be some bad blood here in this game. PSG, of course, moves on into later into the Club World Cup, and it was looking like they won the Champions League. They're gonna pull it off again. No, Chelsea upset them, but PSG did kick Bayern Munich out of that tournament. I think this is Bayern Munich's chance to get back at them. You beat us over there in Atlanta. You messed up Musiala. All right, we're gonna go in here and we're gonna make sure that we win this. We've beaten PSG before. Bayern Munich's beaten PSG before. It's knocked them out several times when they were in that drought that they could not win a Champions League, and then they won the. Bayern Munich was often the team that was knocking them out. When we won in 2020, I believe we knocked out PSG back then. It was always like PSG was trying to avoid playing Bayern Munich. So I know they butted heads, and PSG fans have their own hate towards Bayern Munich. But you know what? I think it's going to be a good game. These are two good sides. PSG coached by Luis Enrique, and Bayern Munich by Vincent Kompany. This is going to be two coaches that are at the best. They're the best, some of the best coaches in Europe right now. Luis Enrique has really nothing to prove in his career, just how much more can he do? And Vincent Kompany really pushing the boundaries and showing that he is one of the best coaches in Europe. And he doesn't have a Champions League to his name yet, so he's still hungry. He needs to prove himself, and he's thinking, I got to win one of these, for Bayern Munich fans to be happy. If Vincent Kompany wins one of those, FC Hollywood is going to start thinking, what, we want Vincent Kompany to stay, and unless they take a big drop in form, he's going to keep his spot. He's going to keep his spot. Let me know in the chat what you think. Who do you think is going to win, PSG or Bayern Munich in the semifinal, leg 1 of 2? I'll go ahead and drop something in here. All right. Let me drop a Mia San Mia in the chat right now. All right, and I've just been talking. I haven't even addressed some of the stuff I got going on. So I have right here Let's see. Right here, right here. There we go. Right here is the jersey I created for Techers Breakdown. It is the year one jersey. It's up on my website. I really wanted to concentrate on the American Muscle, and it's celebrating reaching 1 year. So if you want to be part of the first class crew, go ahead and cop that jersey. It is on my website. I think it's fire, and it's the first time I've ever actually produced a jersey as someone that's starting a channel and producing a jersey. It was amazing to see it to come to life, and I have to post more about it. I'm gonna go put some actual photos so people can get a real feel about the actual jersey. This was the mock-up that I have there, but I want people to be able to see the real thing, so I'm gonna post that as well pretty soon. I have a few images from that I could share. I'm gonna be posting those on Instagram and sharing it as well. But please, nothing helps more to support the channel than buying the merchandise like this. The year one jersey, I think it looks sick, built off American Muscle. I mean, I'm not a small guy. You know, I gotta have muscle. I'm American, so that's American Muscle. First year, Techers Breakdown, reaching the 1 year mark. That's a first class jersey right there. And then up here, let me see it right there. I got it. Now we go. So this is the game I will be attending in the World Cup. So Thursday, June 25th at 7 p.m., I will be going to the Bay Area to watch match 60 of the 2026 World Cup. I actually got one of those all-inclusive food and drink packages, so I'm pumped. I am absolutely pumped. My wallet wasn't pumped. You know, let's be honest, the World Cup tickets this year, insane. The prices have been insane. I wanted to go to the final, but I'm not about to drop 13 G's to go to the final. So, you know, I was balling on a budget, and I got this game in the Bay Area. I'm from LA. I would have liked to go to the LA game, but that one was like $600 more than what I paid. So, you know, I'm out here balling on a budget. I'm all about that here on Techers Breakdown. You got to ball on a budget and going to these soccer games. You're traveling. In the logos I have up here, and then I got to get down the pointing as well because it's mirrored, but over here, the Techers Breakdown logo up there, it's about traveling to go see soccer games, supporting your favorite teams by taking a flight and just going out there and being willing to travel. So my first class jersey is the perfect one. If you're going to do any traveling for the World Cup, you know, you want to save your team's jersey for match day. Don't get it dirty and sweaty on a plane. Just wear the Techers Breakdown jersey. Show that you are in part of that first class traveling to watch your team play. So I'm super pumped for Paraguay versus Australia. It's going to be happening. I'm super pumped for PSG versus Bayern. It's going to be 2 legs. It's going to be good. You got to tune into that one and make sure you're watching that. All right. So next, I got to mention overall, I'm just super pumped about, before I just stop talking about Bayern Munich here, and I switch over to an LAFC hat. You can see I got the LAFC flag behind me. I'm a big fan of LAFC. I just want to say that, you know, I'm pumped at where Bayern Munich is. I think Vincent Kompany has a team playing well. In the subs he does, I think he is one of the best coaches right now at knowing his team and knowing exactly when to sub in players. And also, I did not mention this. What was a big part in Real Madrid taking a loss in getting sent crashing out of the Champions League was the red card that was picked up by Camavinga. If Camavinga wouldn't have picked that up, I don't know if Bayern Munich gets that Luis Diaz goal. There's a reason why Luis Diaz had so much time right there, and that's partly because Camavinga picked up that red card. Bayern Munich was having a tough time getting opportunities, and then once that red card came in, Luis Diaz goes off. Lucho pulls off another goal. I think that's the biggest goal that Luis Diaz has scored for Bayern Munich. It is definitely one that is going in his highlight reel for Bayern Munich. Best goals he scored for Bayern Munich, I think that's number one. Let me know if that's different. Let me know in the comments. If you think that Lucho has scored a better goal, then let me know. I think this is his best goal yet. Let me go ahead and see something. Just checking on the live stream, making sure there's no comments or anyone's letting me know they want to hear something. It's looking good. We're all good here, and I'll jump back into it. Don't worry, don't worry. I'm still talking Bayern Munich here. I'm still talking PSG and what happened. What went down today. Excuse me, Real Madrid today, PSG in the next leg. It's going to be a good one. Now, I want to start talking about LAFC here. So let me go ahead and just switch this screen around here. All right. So LAFC pulls off a huge win in CONCACAF Champions League against Cruz Azul, beating Cruz Azul 4-1 on aggregate. Now, I made a post about it, and the thing that was special here is that LAFC is going to Mexico City. Was not going to be an easy game. It's at a higher elevation. They decided to play the game in Puebla. Don't know exactly what game was being played at the Estadio Azteca or what event was there, and for what reason they decided to put the game at Puebla. But they decided to. That's exactly what they did. They played in Puebla, but Puebla is about 7,000 feet in elevation above Los Angeles. So this, and when you're that much higher in elevation, that has a huge impact on the way performance is. Let me see if I could go ahead and pull that up. I'm going to see. So there we go. Pull up the graphic I created. It's just literally the amount of the amount of elevation has to play in performance of players. It's huge. You had LAFC go off for, what was it? For 3 goals against, go pull off a 3-0 against Cruz Azul. A 3-0. Like, that's no easy feat. They pull off a 3-0 against Cruz Azul, a Liga MX team that represents Mexico City, the heart of Mexico, that has passionate fans. I was at the game. All that I saw was a sea of blue jerseys in the stadium around us. They were chanting. I mean, they were struggling a little bit getting it together. Their tifo they pulled out was upside down, but Cruz Azul fans were passionate and they showed up deep. It was a sea of blue within BMO Stadium, but LAFC managed to pull out a win against them. See if I could pull up the graphic. I want to pull up the graphic. I have a graphic here for the elevation difference. I'm not seeing. All right, 1 second. I apologize. Let me pull this up. All right, let me see. All right, see if I can pull this up here. Go ahead and try and get this going right. All right, there we go. All right. So there you can see there's a graph right there where it's showing the difference in elevation and the impact it makes on players. So you have LA right here, and then you have over here where Cruz Azul was playing their home game in Puebla, Mexico. So look at the difference in elevation. You have it going from almost like sea level, like maybe like a few, like under 300 feet elevation, playing in Los Angeles at BMO Stadium. And then you have it going up, 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 over to 7,000 feet in Puebla, Mexico. And that big of a difference in elevation has huge changes. It's huge implications on the way a player can perform. So you have up there, you can see, it results in a 15% drop in VO2 max. So that means the amount of oxygen that the players have pumping in their blood is actually going to drop pretty significantly. And if you don't have oxygen, your muscles aren't going to be working as efficiently. Just by going to Estadio Azteca, you're going to see that big drop in VO2 max. And that's why for Mexico, Estadio Azteca is actually an absolute fortress. It becomes a challenge for soccer players. Any soccer player that's playing there that does not regularly play in Mexico City is going to have a challenge playing there. So here we have Puebla, which is, I think, about like 80 miles or so away from Mexico City. So still at the same elevation on that plateau that Mexico City is on. And it's a challenge. The elevation brings down your oxygen level, and then you can actually, because of the lack of oxygen, start to get nausea and headaches from playing just being there. It gives you nausea and headaches. Imagine that your home court advantage causes people to be sick if they don't know about it. You know, you see this in football too. If you like American football, the NFL, when teams go to Denver, it's the Mile High City. It actually makes a difference. So that over there, it's like about, I want to say under 4,000 feet. This is 7,000 we're talking about. So Mexico City is considerably higher. You know, they talk about, oh, in the NFL, you know, Denver, Mile High City, it's challenging. Yeah, but you know what's harder? Mexico City. That's like if that's a mile high, this is like 2 miles high. So you have people that are honestly struggling just because they don't got oxygen. I was joking around in my story. I put the Jordan Sparks on. How do I breathe without air? Because that's what players are going through. They can't breathe really. You're not getting as much oxygen to your brain, to your muscles. It's something that you have to work with as a player and try to fix. And so when you play there, you want to either be there for almost 24 to 48 hours just so you can get through that nausea, or you want to get there 24 hours in advance so none of that nausea really sets in. So you see players, if they have to play in Mexico City, either you get there almost in 24 hours and you play, or you get there much early in advance. And the other one too is if at higher elevation, your body is going to trigger a response that causes you to be dehydrated faster. So players are going to be having to induce a lot of fluids, take in a lot of fluids just to perform. So this was a challenging game to perform physiologically. So players are going to struggle physically to win in this game. And that's why you saw LAFC where they went off 3-0 against 3-0 against Cruz Azul at home. But then all of a sudden, when they're playing against them in Puebla, it's only a 1-1 game. Yeah, that's what happens. You know, it's not an easy win. It's a challenge playing in Mexico City. And that's why I think that, you know, get the Mexico players already over there getting trained and used to it. Get them there early because, you know, it's going to be a key difference. Get the Mexico players used to it. Get some players that are already just there. You know, the Cruz Azul players that are of Mexico, on the Mexico national team, those are the players you're going to want. And then also the Club America players, those are the players you're going to want because they're used to the Mexico City elevation. It's like training in an oxygen-deprived environment. So now we see all the teams playing over there. You have like South Korea playing over there. Son had a taste for it. He's going to go back. I've been joking around that he's going to know all the taco spots when he's over there in the summer. But it's honestly a challenge, and he's going to know that, yeah, it is a challenge over here, and that's the team that's something that the South Korea coaching office is going to have to take into account. You know, you want to get players maybe training with oxygen masks, learning what is it like when you have a 15% drop in VO2 max. You're not going to be able to do sprints the same. You may be able to get that sprint, but the next sprint is going to be harder to get out. Your battery is not going to recharge the same. It will not. And that's something that coaches need to think about, and that's something that coaches are going to need to think about going into this 2026 World Cup if they're playing in Mexico City. So not being in that environment is actually good. If you are playing in Mexico City, I'm sorry, but you know, your team is at a little bit of a disadvantage, and Mexico has a big advantage there. It's a strategic reason why they choose Estadio Azteca as the home of the Mexico national team. And it's smart. It's a smart move. It's a tactical move. And you know what? Use it to your advantage. You know, I hope Mexico makes a long run in the World Cup. This is their chance. I think they can do it. Their players are ready for that Mexico City high elevation. Are all the other teams going to be ready, though? Are all the coaches going to be ready? Are they going to be aware of what's going on there? We'll see. We'll see. But I am super pumped that I saw Cruz Azul LAFC. We'll fix that real quick. Great game there by Cruz Azul versus LAFC. It was a challenging one. Cruz Azul definitely was putting it on LAFC, not making it easy for sure. Definitely not making it easy on LAFC at all. Just the camera there. They were not making it easy, and LAFC had to just put in that fight. You didn't see the explosive runs from Denny Bouanga like you would at BMO Stadium. You didn't see those explosive runs from David Martinez. In the first leg, he was able to do those explosive runs because his VO2 max was better. And honestly, he had more oxygen pumping through his body, which the way the human anatomy works, you just play better when you have more oxygen in your body. So he wasn't able to do that, was a big loss for him, and that's exactly why he wasn't able to have that extreme great runs. You know, you saw Heung-min Son, Denny Bouanga. Usually they're sprinting down the field and causing absolute problems. Heung-min Son is running was it 28 kilometers per hour? I heard that he's still sprinting. You know, Heung-min Son, everyone says he's aging, but man, he has still got gas in those legs of his, and he's still running for LAFC. Next game they got coming up is going to be against the Earthquakes. I'm pumped for that one. I know I have family in San Jose. I have San Jose Earthquake fans, passionate fans. San Jose Earthquakes have been playing good. Props to them. I thought it was going to be tough coming back after you lose Espinosa, but the Earthquakes have been good at form, so I'm really pumped to see this game. I think Earthquakes are in great form. LAFC is in great form. But who's in better form? It's going to be a good one to see. I'm pumped. If I might be able to make it out to the game, maybe. Stay tuned. I'll be posting some stuff on the Instagram, on TikTok about that game and not going to it. So stay tuned for that. LAFC is looking good under Marco Santos. He seems like he understands how this team plays. He was just the second-hand man to Cherundolo, and now he stepped up into the role, and it seems like he's filling those shoes nicely. He knows exactly what to expect from his team and what to do, what changes to make in order for them to give extra, to do better. And it seemed like he was aware that this was going to be a tough game. He was already prepared, and you saw that LAFC took a loss to Portland because he was resting players. He was resting starters, making sure that everyone was okay so that we could make sure a game like this happened, that LAFC still managed a way to move forward in the CONCACAF Champions League. So let me take a look. I'm going to see who exactly we got up next in the CONCACAF Champions League. pull that up now. Okay, so looking up, pulling it up, we still got LA Galaxy coming up today versus Toluca. That's a good game. You got to catch that one. I mean, I think on aggregate, LA Galaxy is down. I could be wrong. Yep, 4-2 was LA Galaxy versus Toluca. So LA Galaxy has to pull off a 3-0 in order to move forward, or just beat them by 3 goals. And then we also have Seattle Sounders taking on Tigres today. So we're gonna figure out who exactly LAFC will be taking on. Let me see. So it could be, that's gonna be a good game if LAFC. Let me pull up the bracket here. All right, let me see if I can do this. Sorry about that. And let me pull it up. All right, so here you can see we have Toluca. Let me drop this down a little. All right, so we have here LAFC beats Cruz Azul, moves on to the semifinals, and then on the other side you have LA Galaxy versus Toluca. So LA Galaxy has to pull off a 3-0 if we want to see an El Tráfico in the semifinal. That'll be a good one. It's always an intense one in the El Tráfico. I mean, my season ticket seats are right beneath the supporter section for LA Galaxy. So I'm used to going to El Tráficos and then I get a beer tossed on my head. Just the sad reality. I don't know why LA Galaxy fans are doing that. Like, to be honest, like, just keep your beer. Just keep your beer. Drink it. It's in this economy, you're wasting your beer by throwing it on people? What? That's insane. Like, if you're just throwing water, like, I get that. You have a full cup of water and you throw the water. Yeah, that's free. You could have got that from a water fountain. But a beer in this economy, that's crazy. I mean, those Galaxy fans must be making some money, because if you're throwing beers, you got some money. Like, it's like they're the Dodgers just winning the World Series. They just start throwing them. And then I'm there. I've seen a kid near me that his afro just went flat, and he's heated. And it's right when they score. If they're not winning, they're not throwing beers. If they don't score a goal, they're not throwing beers. So if it is the Manel Tráfico, I'd be glad to see it. I'm going to go, but, maybe I got to bring a poncho. Is that the move? If we're playing in El Tráfico, I just bring a poncho? Just be ready for the beer showers? I mean, there has to be something. I think what they got to do is give Galaxy the area right behind the other side of the goal. Have 3252 face, what do they call it? Cosmos Helpers, or what are they called? What is the supporters section? Cosmos Helpers. Have them facing the opposite side of the 3252. I don't want to have to show up to these games in a poncho. If you are part of LAFC ownership, if you're part of the LAFC team, please. I've gone to multiple Tráficos and I walk out of there smelling like beer, and that sucks. I have to drive home in that, and then have people sitting next to you like, dang, this dude's messed up. He's been drinking all night. I didn't even drink, and I smell like I just dragged myself across the bar on the floor. That's crazy. I don't want to smell like that. I gotta wear a poncho there if they make it to El Tráfico. So maybe I am on side. Well, just because I'm an LAFC supporter, going for Toluca here. Hopefully they get it, but you know what? I wouldn't be against an El Tráfico, and El Tráfico always comes with the energy, so maybe go LA. Maybe, like, it's hard to... Hey, LAFC fans, don't go crazy right now. Don't, like, say, like, get upset about what I'm saying there. But, hey, like, it's going to be fun. You know it'll be fun. And then every single time there's an El Tráfico, 3252 shows up, and the stadium is packed. And it's an amazing atmosphere, minus the beers. Minus the beers falling down on my section. I don't think anyone's that loyal. Like, I've been to multiple games where I've been in beer showers just to go. I don't know how many fans have done that and have experienced that, but yeah, it's a bit intense. And then let's talk about the other side of the bracket. Nashville, talking about Earthquakes loss there. You have Nashville. Who do they have on their team? Espinosa. That guy he just needed a team to be performing at his level. I think the Earthquakes could not provide that for him. And maybe he was taking up too much cap space, and that's why the Earthquakes wanted to let him go. But I'm glad to see Espinosa on Nashville. It makes for an interesting football team. Hani Mukhtar, Sam Suric, and Espinosa. That's a strong side. I'm not too certain if Nashville has taken on. Let me see. When was the last time Nashville played LAFC? I don't think they've played this season. Let's see. When would they last play? Looking it up right now. Nashville LAFC last match. March 23rd, 2024 is what's coming up. And I'm seeing that LAFC beat Nashville 5-0. 5-0. Whoo! 5-0. But I mean, they got Espinosa now. And Espinosa was always a little bit of a thorn in the foot of LAFC. You had to always take Espinosa into account when you were playing the Earthquakes. There was Tillman had a goal at the 9th minute in that 5-0 beating. And then it was Wong at the 18th, the penalty in the 48th. Then Oliveira, back when we had Oliveira. I mean, he was playing good for us. And especially when he started to get some minutes for Uruguay, it felt like it really impassioned him. And I felt like we could have made it work there. But hey, you know, if we had to make some cap space for Son Heung-min, so be it. So be it. And then we had Atuesta. I think Atuesta in the midfield, I did like him. And he scored in the 96th minute, making it 5-0 when we last played Nashville. There's a chance we play them. There's a chance that we play them. You know, if Nashville wins their next round in the CONCACAF Champions, we take them on. We take them on. So I think that 5-0, that's a good spot. Our last game with them, they're going to want a big win. And I know LAFC right now, the form we're in, we're going to show up as well. So let's go down a little bit here. Let's take a look at the other side of the bracket. You have Tigres Seattle. Tune in today. Tigres are taking on Seattle, 6:30 p.m. When is that Galaxy game? Let me pull this down here. All right, let's go up. You have at 8 p.m. Toluca versus LA Galaxy, and then you have Tigres versus Seattle coming up at, what is that at? I'm like trying to struggle to see this here. It is 8:30. Okay, so we have an 8:30 game and an 8 p.m. game. So LA Galaxy kicking off at 8 p.m. and then we have Seattle taking on Tigres at 8:30 p.m. Not too familiar with that one. What's the standings right now? Let me pull it up. Tigres. Yeah, so Seattle needs they're in kind of the same spot as Galaxy. Both other MLS sides are looking like they need a 3-0 to move on. I think Seattle Sounders could do it. Let me see where they're playing at. If it's in Mexico, it's going to be a tough one. Lumen Field for Seattle. They could do it. I think the Seattle Sounders fans show up big at home. They're always strong support over there, you know, since the Clint Dempsey days. They know what it's like to have a good team, and they stand behind their team. And Seattle Sounders are just a team that plays tactically. They are well coach team. Tactically, every game I see them in, they don't mess around in the last few minutes. They're making sure that they take care of the ball. And that's what makes a good team. And that's the type of team that moves on in tournaments, which I think that's why Seattle Sounders, whenever LAFC plays them, especially at the end of the season in MLS, I'm nervous because they're not a team that goes down easy. And I think they're going to make it hard for Tigres. Tigres are going to be maybe a little jet lagged. They just came in from Mexico, and all that travel, the legs are tired from traveling. You had to sit for so long, and I think Seattle's have a strong chance. I think, and over there on the other side, I didn't even look. Where do we have LA Galaxy? Is it at home this time? Where are they playing? LA Galaxy. Let's see. Yeah, Dignity Health Sports Park. LA Galaxy is going to be taking on Toluca today. They're going to need that 3-0. Seattle's going to need that 3-0. At home, you have the advantage. Make it happen. Maybe the first round, you're in Mexico. It's not your field. The players were traveling. No excuses this time. You got to pull off a 3-0 if you want to make it further in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. But you know who made it into the next round? LAFC. Dale, dale, black and gold. Let's go. I like the way we're playing. It's just a tough match. The last game, I know Portland, tough loss last minute. That should have been a tie. That last minute goal should not gone in. We shouldn't have allowed that one. We should have been pressing up a little bit more. You can't let players dance in the box. As a matter of fact, you let players dance in the box, that's how you get scored on. The defense needs to be a little bit more attuned to it. When a player's in the box, you got to step up. Even if you're not, don't go for that crazy slide tackle and take out someone's ankles so we get a penalty. But you got to press. You got to be on them. You got to do something to, stop them from putting away a goal and being in the box just dancing. We can't let that happen. We're not going to win if we're doing that. All right, so good games coming up today, especially in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Got a game at 8 for LA Galaxy, and another game 8:30. Tigres take on Seattle. Liga MX versus MLS. Can you ask for better games for CONCACAF Champions Cup? This is exactly what they want. We don't want to see MLS sides just going against other MLS sides. We don't want to just watch an MLS game. We want to watch these crazy matchups, and that's what we're getting in this round. I enjoyed the Cruz Azul LAFC matchup. It's easy to say that as an LAFC fan, of course, but it was fun. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I liked what we were doing in that match. And I think Marcos Santos has got the team with accurate knowledge of how to perform. Now, with that, talking about the teams, I do want to mention I have the Techers Breakdown store with a lot more merch coming up soon. I want to show off some of the jerseys I'm going to be having pretty soon. So let me go ahead and pull those up now. Oh, sorry about that. Let me go ahead and turn that and I'll pull this up here. All right, I'm working on getting these jerseys up. I went out, got jerseys. I'm working on reselling them, and I think they're actually some true heat. They are some fire jerseys. You definitely got to cop one if you can. Whether you're a Bayern Munich fan, a Man United fan, a Liverpool fan. I also got some shoes. I got some Pele shoes. Have you guys heard of those shoes that dropped? I picked up a few of those. I'm planning on putting some charms on them. I have a Brazil charm that sits on it. It's absolutely sick. I can't wait to get that up online so all of you can see. So right now I'll go ahead and go through some of the jerseys that I have. And because we are celebrating Bayern Munich moving forward in the Champions League, if you want to pick up your Bayern Munich jersey, I am going to be giving it'll be included with a few Techers breakdown stickers, and I'm gonna drop a bundle where it includes either a hat or a bag with it, so you can get that together. You get the jersey, and then you also get the Techers breakdown bag. I think that's super sick. It's an option, so you just have that bag ready to go, or you have the hat ready to go, and you buy it in a bundle. I think it's gonna be really dope. Can't wait to release that one. I still got to update the site, but I want to give you guys a sneak peek into what I am working on there. So let me go ahead and pull that up now. All right, so we got some absolute heat in these jerseys. So you could see you got a Bayern Munich there with dead center chest FBC. So for FC Bayern Munich pulling off a dub on Real Madrid today. Real Madrid, as good as they are, they put up a fight. Mbappe putting up a goal with stitches in his head. Insane, insane. You can't ask for a better storyline. If you're a Madrid fan, you cannot argue that Mbappe is not showing up. He has been showed up with stitches in his head. And if you're a Bayern Munich fan, Mia San Mia, what a great game. I wouldn't have asked for it a better way. I couldn't have asked for it a better way. This is how you want your team going forward. This is what you want. Having confidence in your team to pull off wins like this against the absolute champions of Champions League. Yeah, I want to take on the hardest teams, and I want to know that my team is the best. And that's exactly what Bayern Munich were doing. They were letting the world know that they're one of the best teams in Europe, not to forget it, and that they are still, in my opinion, right now, the best team in Europe. So if you want to support Bayern Munich in that next leg against PSG coming up April 28th, make sure you get one of these, and then I'm going to create a bundle. This is just to show you. I don't have it up on the site yet, but I do have these jerseys. I'm going to be dropping them in bundles where you can get a Techers Breakdown hat or either a bag with it and some stickers. So it's a full bundle. Not only do you get your jersey, but you also get the bag and you get some stickers. It's going to be super awesome. So that's just the first jersey that I have there. I honestly held one of those Bayern Munich jerseys for me. The next one I'm going to show here is the Mexico full 90. Let me go ahead and we have the Bayern. No, that is not. All right, 1 second. Technical difficulty there. I don't know what just happened. Let me pull up that Mexico jersey right now. Sorry about that. There we go. So I got this Mexico full 90 jersey. It's sick. I plan to customize it, maybe put something on the back. But again, I'm gonna list it before I do that. And then I'm gonna put it with a Techers Breakdown bag, or the Techers Breakdown hat as a bundle. So if you're interested, you can get one of those. A full Mexico full 90 jersey. It's the perfect piece of merch to be wearing during the World Cup. And if you're a Mexico fan during the World Cup, you want to get one of these. It's gonna come with a Techers Breakdown bag or a Techers hat, whichever one you prefer. Go ahead and sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. I'm just still getting the hang of streaming here. I apologize. You guys don't know, Techers Breakdown just reached 1 year. I've been trying to master all forms of content, do everything, and provide such great videos and content for all of you to enjoy. And I take pride in that. And, but I'm still growing. I'm still learning. And I want to learn for all of you. All right, going into next one here. Let's see. So this is the Man United jersey I got. It's a sick one. Going to be a cop again with the Techers Breakdown merch as well. It's going to come. And then I got a Liverpool one. All of these are great material. They're actually stitching. If you look at the logos on them, there are not ironed on, so they, if you wash them, those aren't coming off. These are jerseys that are going to last you, and that's the reason why I wanted to get them and add them to the Techers Breakdown arsenal to be sold with Techers Breakdown merch. I plan on customizing these too, but you know, I'll put them up. If you want it just with nothing on it, go for it. And you can have that already. You can have it already. I'm thinking about printing on the back, you know, with a vinyl paint, like Never Walk Alone or something like that. Or making it into maybe a celebration of Diogo Jota. Putting Jota on the back, a commemoration of him as a player. That's something I'm thinking about. I plan to post it. If I do customize it, post those jerseys. Let's see the next one I got here. What else do I got? I did also pick up this Juve jersey. So I know it's a little rough with the white on white here, so I'll kind of describe it. It's a jersey, the same thing, only stitching, no iron-on patches. You're gonna be able to wash this one. You know, I bought a brand new jersey. I mean, I don't want to talk bad about LAFC, but I bought a brand new jersey, and the iron-on patches were already coming off within, like, I just cold washed it. Cold wash is usually the good one. I didn't even dry it, and the patch was coming off. That is horrible. So don't, you know, you want to look at, for if you're a jersey person, you want to look for kits that don't have the iron-on badges. I mean, all the new ones are going to have the iron-ons, but can you find the stitched ones? These are stitched. These are jerseys that are going to last you. You know, maybe they don't have the player on the back, but what they do have is a stitching on it that's going to last you for some time. It's going to be good. You could wear it anytime. I'm going to try to get those vinyl paints on them. And if you think about those vinyl paints, is they're not going to peel off the way that jersey press-on badges do. I mean, I have a new LAFC one, the brand new one, that it's already peeling. I was like, I spent this much just for a jersey that peels. I understand if I bought a jersey outside the stadium and it's doing this, but the official thing already, just from a cold wash, insane. You do not have to worry about that with these jerseys. If you're a Juve fan, perfect. You're going to be able to have this one. Thinking about customizing it as well. Keep you all updated, and I'll put it online. I'm thinking black, maybe vinyl paint, put something on the back there for Juve. And then going on, we are going to see to this here. We have the, let me scroll, see if I can scroll in or zoom in here. Trying to get it right here. My goodness. Here we go. Let me zoom out just a slight bit. But here, I also have been customizing these Pele yellow Pumas. So you can see here, it is actually not a soccer shoe. Trying to see if we can get in there. Zooming in a little too much. Sorry about that. I was trying to see so you can get the full picture of the shoe there. But it is, let me try to see if I could drop down a little bit here. And all right, so the shoe is a Pele, is a Puma Speed Cat, which is actually not it is not a soccer shoe. The only reason why you're wondering, like, well, Techers Breakdown, why are you showing me a shoe that's not even about soccer? Well, I'm showing it to you because it is in the Pele yellow. So when Pele played, he wore Pumas. And so this is the Pele yellow, the same yellow that Pele was wearing. They put it on the shoe, and they called this shoe specifically the Speed Cat Pele yellow. So this is for, yes, the Brazilian soccer legend Pele. This is the yellow they used there. They put it on a shoe and created a Speed Cat. So this is a Pele shoe. It's known for being for racing drivers, for the racing drivers to go ahead and drive smoothly so the shoe goes up and down. And it's on a Speed Cat. It is perfectly with the brand imaging that I have for Techers Breakdown. Putting it on a shoe, what I include is just at the front here, I put a Brazil medallion as well for you to have so that you can have it on your right foot or your left foot, whatever shoe, whatever foot is dominant, and you can also represent Brazil and really make that tie in to Pele. That this is the Pele shoe, and that, yeah, I think it's awesome. I'm gonna get these listed online, so make sure to cop one of those if you can. All right, so for everyone that's just jumping in, for the people just getting out of work, I was talking about the jerseys and shoes I have right now. This is the Pele shoe that I'm going to be listing on my website very soon. You can see over there, I have the Techers Breakdown First Class jersey. Right now, I am celebrating wins of my two favorite teams, Bayern Munich and LAFC. There's big games going on today. Make sure you tune in. LA Galaxy is taking on Toluca. They need a 3-0 to move forward in the tournament. Let me pull that up again. They need a 3-0 to move forward in the tournament. So you have here LAFC pulled out a win yesterday, of course, against Cruz Azul. Let me go to make this a little bit bigger. So you have LAFC moving forward into the semifinals, and then you have Toluca going against LA Galaxy today. So Toluca has a 2-0 aggregate score on LA Galaxy. So what Galaxy is going to be needing is a 3-0 win in order to pull this off against Toluca and the Liga MX side that is not going to go down without a fight. Today at Dignity Health Sports Park, they're going to be having a game. I don't know if there's going to be any of my LAFC or LA Galaxy, LA Galaxy family there. But I know everyone's going to be watching. You're going to have the greats like Landon Donovan, David Beckham interested in seeing if their old side could pull off a win against Toluca in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Nashville already made it through, but we're going to have to figure out who makes it through on the side of Seattle Sounders versus Tigres. Seattle Sounders is taking on Tigres at 8:30 p.m. today. It's a game you do not want to miss. It's two leagues crossing over. This is not a match that happens often. This is a match that's only going to be happening today. It's definitely, if you're a soccer fan, it's one that you're going to want to check out. In Seattle, they have to pull off a 3-0 as well to move forward. And I think, this is what you get with CONCACAF Champions Cup. You want these matchups where you're getting a Liga MX side versus an MLS side, and that's what we're going to have. So grab the popcorn, grab your favorite beverage, sit down, enjoy these games today. I'm definitely going to be talking about them here on Techers Breakdown and how big it was for them to be playing. So here I have dead center the games that I will be attending for the World Cup. I cannot wait for this game to come. I cannot wait for June 25th. I'm going to be going to the World Cup in the Bay Area. I would have liked to go in LA, but it was like $600 more. I mean, I'm all for balling on a budget here at Techers Breakdown, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be going to the Bay Area and enjoying the World Cup from there. Let me see here. Let me adjust the camera just a slight bit. 1 second. All right. So big games, and for anyone just tuning in, I will, recap it for you. Bayern Munich did take a dub today. They beat Real Madrid, sent Real Madrid packing in the Champions League. So they sent Real Madrid packing in the Champions League, and they also are now moving on into the semifinals to take on PSG. So that's going to be their next game. And then PSG is now packing. We have good CONCACAF Champions games coming up. LAFC beat Cruz Azul on to the semifinals. Who are we going to be matching up? We're going to find out today. Is it going to be El Tráfico? Maybe. Or is it going to be another Liga MX side in taking on Toluca? we will see. Big things are happening in soccer. I am still taking my Stanford class. Um, Still doing that. Let me see if I have an image that I could go ahead and display and show you. Pull up something. I think I do. I did say I did want to give you updates on it and how exactly everything was going. Oh, I didn't even talk about how Techers Breakdown Day was. I could not be more thankful for all the fans, all Techers Breakdown squad. You guys have been absolutely amazing in supporting me, have been really just champions of my channel, every single one of you. There's me at the CONCACAF, or at CONCACAF Champions. What am I saying? At Techers Breakdown Day. So it was at SoFi Covina. I think we had a great turnout. I want to say roughly there was about 30 people that attended. Had a bracket. It was a 2v2 tournament. You know, I would have liked the world to enroll all of Covina, anyone that plays soccer in Covina to play in it, but you know, it was $20 to enter, so understandable why some people didn't do it. But I still think it was a really good game, tournament that we had. We had multiple teams taking on. The teams that are coming up to my head that we had were um, it was some LA Galaxy fans. I have family that are LA Galaxy supporters, and they went by Cosmos Little Helpers was one team that made it to semifinals, and the other side they were Galaxy fans as well. They were going by Cosmos Big Helpers, so you had a little bit of clashing there. You know, they had the Galaxy fans were had it out for each other, wanted to. You know, one was bigger than the other, I guess. So it was funny to see that. Everyone else, all the players were great, had awesome personalities. Then we had on the other side of our bracket, we had Sergio, who is actually a soccer coach. You got to hit him up if you want to get the skills on point. He ended up winning the tournament with the Black Panthers. That was the name of his team. So he told me he was wearing all black and he was the Black Panthers along with his teammate Eric. And then we had a little bit of a hodgepodge team that we had a player, Ivan, that was playing on that team that had to run to catch a Showtime movie that he promised his kids he was going to be watching Super Mario. He told me from the beginning, hey, I have to go watch Super Mario. Could I just play for a little bit? I was like, yeah, I mean, go for it. Like, if we could have people play for it, play. He's all, yeah, I'll pay to be in the tournament. I just want to get some minutes. And I was like, yeah, go for it. So he played, and then we had to have someone step in for him alongside his teammate that was left alone. And the cook that was making hot dogs stepped in. His name is Elijah. And then that team ended up going by Cocineros. I helped them come up with the team. I'm not going to lie, but I love that name. That was the hardest team name out there. The Los Cocineros taking on Black Panthers. It was a tough match. It was a bit of a blowout. I mean, Sergio does have a bit better skill, so it was a challenging one that was going on there. Los Cocineros had a tough match. The Cocinero had been cooking hot dogs all day. He wasn't ready to jump in automatically. I played half the match to try to help out Cocineros, but I was not good enough to take on the Black Panthers, as well as Sergio ended up winning with the Black Panthers, and he had a great tournament. I mean, Sergio, I apologize. There was a time when I kicked the ball and it just kind of flew. I know when I'm playing, I get intense. You know, if you're going to be pulling off the tickers on me, I'm going to make you earn it. You know, I'm not going to give it easy to you. I'm not going to play without defense. I'm going to try to play defense. Of course, my big body, I can't be running a lot. I do better on the small halves. The only 2 minutes, yeah, that's about as much as I could take. I can't do a full match. It's a push. It's a push. And I know that everyone that was playing in the tournament, they felt it. A 2v2 tournament. We were running on the big 5v5 fields because had the best viewing experience. So I did, you know, the final boss battle for the Black Panthers and Sergio. I took them on. I did get a goal. Hey, I got a goal. That's what matters. I got a goal. But we did end up getting blown out. I was absolutely gassed. My American muscles could not take it. I'm built like a wrestler. I don't have that full soccer build yet. I'm not the thin build. No, I don't got that. I got the American muscle, and that's why I got the Techers Breakdown jersey over there. Right there on this side. I know. Let me see if I can get this. Let me see, and I'm pointing that way over there. If you look over there, you'll see the Techers Breakdown jersey that I designed. It has the racing stripes on it for American muscle because that's what I am. I'm not a traditional soccer player. I'm the defender that like does not look like he should be playing soccer. I'm built too big for it. I can't play a full match on a real pitch. I don't know. You probably have to sub me out at the 15-minute mark if I make it there. Just because, like, I'm built, like, I have muscle on me. I used to wrestle in the past, and I work with my build. If I'm not gonna get bodied off the ball, that's for sure. You ain't gonna body me off the ball, and that's built for the players that came with American muscle too. That you built with American muscle. That's for all of you. The jersey, the Techers Breakdown jersey. Make sure you're part of the first class. If you're watching this video, you are part of the first class squad. Make sure you pick up that Techers Breakdown racing jersey. Got the racing stripes because it's American muscle. Thank you so much to everyone that showed up on Techers Breakdown Day. You can see the jerseys in the back there, the jerseys that I have. So I'll just kind of see if I could point to them a little bit right here. That's the Techers first class jersey I had with me at the event, and I was showing it off. And then you have the other jersey right here. That's a Bayern Munich jersey that I am selling, and it's going to be coming with a Techers Breakdown sticker, a Techers hat, or a Techers bag. So that will be going up onto the website very soon. Have patience with me. Life's been wild, been going through a lot, and I plan to list that one very soon. And then I have over here the Manchester United jersey that I am going to be listing, a Mexico full 90 jersey, a Liverpool jersey as well, and I do have a Puma King jersey to match with the Pele shoes I have on sale back here. You'll see what I had is the raffle prize giveaways. There was a Real Madrid jersey. Ooh, they didn't make it through. It should have been giving away a Bayern Munich jersey, but I know I'm no fool. Like, I know what it is. I know that everyone loves Real Madrid. They're the number one club. They're the perennial Champions League champions. So I know that's what it is. I'm not oblivious to that fact, and it's been great. I'd just love to thank you all for the support. I did end up, oops, let me close that out real quick. Apologize. Let me pull up really fast. I want to see if I got anything. Here we go. Bear with me. I'm getting used to recording lives and doing this. So yeah, I have been attending a class on the World Cup at Stanford. It has been amazing. This last World Cup, I heard from some of the players, or not players, but one of the organizers of the World Cup when it came to LA. The LA 1984 tournament, I believe it was. So LA. Let me see where the World Cup was. It held in LA? Maybe it was for the 1984 Olympics that he helped organize, I believe. Yeah, so it was the 19, excuse me, I misspoke, the 1994 World Cup. He helped organize that tournament. And he spoke in my Stanford class telling everyone about what made it special. So he was saying certain things of like in the 1994 World Cup in the US, what they did was they had people like Whitney Houston performing just to get people excited for the World Cup and it coming to the US. And then after that, the big thing that they did as well was that they then founded MLS. So he was one of the first founders of Major League Soccer. So it was interesting to hear from him. And on my Techers Breakdown, I have covered in the past a little bit about the previous LA teams that came before LAFC. And one of those was the LA Aztecs. He was actually one of the people that founded the Aztecs and worked in that organization in the NASL. And then he was a big part of making the MLS happen. So that was. So yeah, it was Ellen Rothenberg that I had the pleasure of hearing. Let me pull up a picture of Ellen Rothenberg. I know there's a little bit of technical difficulties when we had that class, and I'm gonna have another class over there with Stanford coming up very soon. So I plan to share that as well. I believe I'm hearing from Landon Donovan. Maybe I gotta ask him a question about how LA Galaxy's game goes today. So let me pull up a picture of Alan Rothenberg. This guy is an absolute legend of the soccer game. If you don't know his name, he's the author of The Big Bounce, the surge that shaped the future of U.S. soccer. He is actually a lawyer. Let me read a little bit before I'll read a little bit on Alan right now. So let me pull up his image, and here we go. Let me open this. Let me go ahead and share the picture I got of Alan. Yeah, but he is an absolute legend of soccer. And, he's the type of person that is not sung. People remember the players, they remember people. And, you got to give respect to the people that built the game, the people that founded Major League Soccer. It was a big part of what he did. So what he was known for was he bridged the gap in the 1994 World Cup with the founding of Major League Soccer as a chairman of the 1994 World Cup Organizing Committee. He fulfilled a promise to FIFA by establishing Major League Soccer. So this man was a big part of making sure that Major League Soccer happened, and my team, LAFC, came around and happened. And I had the pleasure of actually hearing from him and about some of his stories, about some of the struggles and wanting to have big performers in the United States like Whitney Houston make things happen. And I'm hoping that he decides that for Infantino decides to get Bad Bunny in the final. It makes sense, absolute sense. Have Bad Bunny perform in the final. I'm still campaigning for that. I did not forget about that. I want Bad Bunny being at the World Cup final halftime show and showing everyone how great it is. So right now, Alan Rothenberg, he made sure that he founded, was a key investor, often called a founder, including Philip Anschutz and Lamar Hunt, which have had a big part in shaping soccer in the U.S. And the other person that doesn't get talked about sometimes when saying that is Alan Rothenberg, and how he made sure, after talking to FIFA in the 1994 World Cup, that MLS became a thing, that the United States had its own soccer league that stuck around. And you know what? Fast forward after 1996, you're looking at almost, what is that, 30 years later. This man then has the helped create the MLS, and the MLS is looking stronger than it ever has before. And now we're looking at another World Cup bounce in 2026 for LAFC and for Major League Soccer. I mean, not even just LAFC, all of Major League Soccer is going to have a World Cup bounce. If we see the United States make it to the quarterfinals, you're going to see a good bounce, a pretty strong bounce. If, fingers crossed, the United States pulls ahead and wins a match into fingers crossed here. Fingers crossed. If they make it to the semifinals, I know this sounds crazy. Knock on wood. I'm knocking on my desk there. If they make it to the semifinals, you're going to see a big boom in soccer. I don't care what anyone says. I know that for a fact. There will be a big boom if the United States makes it to the semifinal. I know it's a big ask. Fingers crossed. May not happen. But in the long shot, it does. We're going to see a big thing in final. You're going to see the soccer in the United States take a big shift, and it's going to be different. Now, I'm not going to go crazy and just even think about them winning the World Cup because I know that's a little big ask. You can't all put it on Pulisic. Puli ain't going to pull that one off for the United States. And if he does, I'm not going to hate on you, Pulisic. You can do it. You can do it, Pulisic. And if Mexico does it, oh my gosh, and they played games at the Estadio Azteca. Viva Mexico, dale, dale, el tri. You could do it too. Those are my wild picks. Those are my long shots that I want to see happen, to be honest. But just talking about Alan Rothenberg, and he was the president of U.S. Soccer Federation in the 1994 organizing committee chairman. I had the wonderful opportunity to actually hear from him in my Stanford class about the World Cup. It was an amazing opportunity. Thank you, Alan Rothenberg, for all that you gave to U.S. soccer and for speaking to people like me that are just interested in learning more about the World Cup. I think that we need to celebrate people before they're gone. And you know what, Alan Rothenberg, for everything you've given U.S. soccer, I want to make sure that people know your name and that you get celebrated. And you know what? You get some people, you got to buy the big bounce and learn more. I know I got to do a more in-depth reading. I'm pumped up. I know who we're going to hear from next is going to be Landon Donovan. He's going to be speaking at the Stanford class. My professor got jokes. That man got jokes. He was saying that he's excited to see Landon Donovan with his new hair. Yo, I was like, dang, what are you trying to roast him right now? Like, I know Landon Donovan, he's working with his new hair, and I don't hate on it, man. You got it. I think it could be a little bit better. Go a little bit more, man. Go for a different look. I know that's the look you had, your natural hair. Nah, go for a little bit more shag. Go for something else. Like, props to you, Landon. Like forget the haters, anyone that's talking trash on it. Nah, bro, you look good. You look good. That's all that matters. If you feel confident, who cares about any of them? And I'm excited to hear from you, Landon. You're a true hero of mine. Any LA Galaxy fan would be pumped up to hear from you. And I'm going to be hearing from Landon Donovan this week. I'm going to try to ask him some questions. I don't know how this Toluca game is going to go today. I don't know. If LA Galaxy wins, I'm pumped. That's an El Tráfico. I'm going to have to show up in a poncho, cover the head, because when LA Galaxy plays LAFC, they love to throw beers at my section. I usually get rained on. I'm chilling in a beer shower. So if LA Galaxy wins, I'm pumped. But at BMO Stadium, don't question it. If you see me, it's sunny outside, and I'm showing up in a poncho. LA Galaxy right now has to pull off a 3-0. They're playing today, 8 o'clock. They're going to be kicking off. You got to tune into that one. Rep LA. If you're just a neutral fan, you don't rep LAFC, you don't rep LA Galaxy, hop in, put that game on. It's going to be a good one. Toluca, LA Galaxy, and at the Dignity Health Sports Park. It's going to be a good game. And I'm excited to hear from Landon Donovan this week. I heard from Alan Rothenberg, which he was in charge of the 1994 World Cup that happened and had games. The final was at the Rose Bowl. He was in charge of that, and he was one of the founding people that founded Major League Soccer. All of this happens, the United States soccer, Major League Soccer, happens because of people like Alan Rothenberg, and it was a true privilege to hear from him. I can't wait to hear more about from my Stanford class, about the World Cup, and hear from more interesting people as the class goes on. And I plan to share that with all of you on Techers Breakdown, some of the things they said. He was talking about founding the Aztecs and being part of LA Wolves. I've covered that before. Before there was LA Galaxy, before there was the LAFC, much before LAFC, there was LA Wolves. LA Wolves were Wolverhampton Wanderers coming over to Los Angeles and playing over for LA fans to enjoy soccer. He was part of that. He was part of that. He was working for the Lakers, and then he started working under LA Wolves. And then from there, he told me at that point, he had not even seen a soccer game. He said he hadn't even seen a soccer game. And he's just an absolute hero for soccer in the United States, became a hero in founding Major League Soccer. And then he worked with the Aztecs and Elton John and growing soccer. So not only is he a big advocate for soccer and an absolute hero within the soccer in the United States, he's a big thing for all of soccer in Los Angeles and building Galaxy and LAFC. Without Allen, there is no LA Galaxy. There is no LAFC. So salute this man. Tip my hat to him. Allen, it was a pleasure hearing from you. In my next class at Stanford, learning about the World Cup, I'm going to be hearing from Landon Donovan. All you LA Galaxy fans, you Cosmos out there. You know, I plan to share that too. It's all right. We're all from LA. If you're a fan, I plan to share that as well. Here I do have the game. Let me, right, am I pointing to this thing or am I not? I'm still getting down the pointing, but right here, you'll see is the game I am attending at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. It's going to be in the Bay Area. I'm pumped for it to kick off. You know, I would go to the one in LA, but, you know, your boy is balling on a budget. And I recommend that for all Tickers Breakdown fans. I advocate for that. Ball on a budget. You don't got to blow all your money on this World Cup. If you just want to go to a fan fest, they're going to go up pretty soon. I believe it's the 22nd in LA. I plan on going to one of those. I'm excited for that. I'm going to try to get a Fan Fest ticket because I'm paying like 2 G's for like going to the SoFi Stadium. Pass. Hard pass. Like, I ain't gonna drop all that right now. I ain't got room in the budget for that. I'm trying to put money into growing Tickers Breakdown and giving great content to all of you. So I put it down for the Bay Area. Lock me in Thursday, June 27 p.m. You know where I'm gonna be. I got the package that is supposed to be the VIP section, all you can eat drinks and all you can eat food. So I mean, there's a chance that, you know, I got a few bevies in me at that time. You know what I mean? And I'm going to be reporting it. If you're curious of how it looks in a VIP World Cup section, Thursday, June 25th, I'm going to be recording it, and then I'm going to be posting it all on the Tickers Breakdown channel for all to see. So you can get an exact idea. If you're going to if you got a good ticket and you got a VIP ticket to the World Cup final and you want to see what it's going to be like, you know, what they have offering, what the on-location experience is, I'm going to be there. And I'm going to let you all know. I'm going to post it. So stay locked in, tap in, subscribe if you want to see all that happen. So over here on the side, I got my jersey up there, the Tickers American Muscle. Talking about that one. It's an awesome jersey. You can get that on the Tickers Breakdown website. Thank you all so much for your support and always supporting Tickers Breakdown. And I will catch you in the next breakdown.